Welcome aboard, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to be joined shortly by Leon Fitch, the Regional VP of Sales with EquiTrust. This is Matt Tour. I'm the sales manager at IMES. Been here for over 20 years now, seen a lot of changes over the years. It's good to see the high interest rates cycle back. This is the best rates I've seen since the late 90s. And it's been a long period of a low interest rate environment, and we're finally seeing rates percolating. We're seeing the best rate guarantees I've seen since the mid 90s, and really a great time to be in the insurance business. You see the stock market fluctuating up and down, more down than up lately, and people are looking for solutions for safe money. And with the bond market, what it did last year, that was not a good place to be for safe money. So people are looking at other sides of investing, and the annuity side of the business right now is extremely hot. I know that we're seeing the highest sales we've seen ever here at IMES, and it's just a great time to be in this insurance side of the business. And with a lot of the money moving around, with some of the older people passing away with these big blocks of money, you see a lot of the beneficiaries reinvesting the money back into annuities, wanting that safety, and just a great time and some great rates out there. So do keep that in mind. I know we're glad that we could have you on board this morning, and it should be a really good webinar we're doing today on some of the incentives being offered by EquiTrust right now. I know we also have our own incentives. We do some different cash incentives, trips, seminar systems based on your business the first 180 days of being contracted. These are through IMES, and then you can earn some additional incentives from EquiTrust, based on what they have available right now. So just a great time to be submitting business to insurance agency marketing and be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities we have with some of these incentives and other things going on. At this point, we also have a nice referral program. You refer agents that are selling business to IMES. They do business to our group. You receive an initial bonus based on them getting contracted. You'll also receive overrides based on their production. A great way for you to build up some nice monthly commission checks coming your way on business that you did not write, and you're getting paid out directly based on those referrals. So great opportunity there. We also have our marketing reimbursement. We put in $100 to every $100,000 of indexed annuity premium you write through IMES into an account, and you can utilize that account to reimburse you for marketing costs. I know we reimburse half your costs, so if you send in a $1,000 bill, we'll go ahead and reimburse you $500 of that based on your marketing balance. So really a great opportunity to have IMES help you with some of those costs and what's going on with the ever increasing amounts that cost to get anything done these days. So we'll definitely help with that increased inflation cost. So we also have a great back office team. We have a great new business team. They review your applications. We get those all processed through the system. I know we have a great e-app system we use through Firelight. And I know that EquiTrust is doing a nice little incentive on that here through the end of the year. I know that Leon will be going over that information here in a few minutes, but great for you to earn some additional dollars here by submitting apps via the e-app side. It also is a much cleaner process, less drag. You see business go through a much more timely fashion, and really a really good reason to utilize those e-applications. We also have a great creative team here. We'll be going over some information on that here shortly on what they can offer you based on your needs on the creative side, but really a good way to utilize some of our services. We have a great website you can utilize. It's up to date with all the current interest rates. We have comparisons you can do on income riders. You can compare what the best interest rates are based on a client's age, what state you're in, how much money you're putting in. It's going to give you the best rates based on any duration. Maybe you look at a really good 5-year rate in the state of Maine for a 88-year-old. You can plug that information in, and it's going to pull out the best rates based on that situation. So really a very easy tool to use and really help you with your clients' needs. As I mentioned, Firelight is our e-app system we mainly use with companies. Most of our carriers are now on that Firelight system and really help speed the process. I know the first time around might be a little bit more difficult, but once you've done it once or twice, it's super simple. It really helps you out with the app system. Great way to get apps submitted with less corrections needed and with less headache by missing different items on the app, because it will not let you submit the app until everything is complete. So that's a good thing to have. As I mentioned, our creative team, we've got a great group of guys on that side. We've got excellent services we can provide with website development. If you want to change up the look of your logo, your company logo, maybe change up some colors on your stationery or whatever you want, update based on the 2020s versus the 2010s or 9s. And it's a great way to get your information updated by taking full advantage of our creative team. We have a great wealth management side of our business here. I'm going to launch a quick poll. If you have interest in getting more information on IAMS Wealth Management, we've got a whole group of people over there that can help you out with getting your Series 65, helping out with some of the platforms that are available for your clients on their investments. We also have a lot of good information on getting yourself involved in that side of the business. I know we've seen a huge increase in the number of our agents that do have a securities license now compared to 5 to 10 years ago. Years ago, maybe 1 out of 10. Now it's 8 out of 10 people in our top 30 have a securities license. So definitely something to take a look at, and I'm gonna leave this open for about another 20 seconds. If you have due interest in getting some more details on the wealth management side, we'll have Duncan Smith, our recruiter on that end, give you a call, and he'll go over all the benefits of utilizing a securities license and what it can offer you moving forward. I know we have a lot of agents using both insurance and securities right now, and good thing to have both sides of those covered. So another 5 seconds here. If you do have interest, mark off yes. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and get this closed up here in a couple more seconds. Get that done. And then, but if you do have interest and you weren't able to vote there, just give our office a call. We'll be glad to get you over to the wealth management side, and we'll get things moving for you on that end. And then we have our life annuity academies. We've been doing these for the last 20 plus years, and seen a really good response on these academies over the years. We've seen a lot of really beneficial information being covered. A lot of the agents see their production levels increase based on attending one of our meetings, and some great stuff on that end. If you do have interest in taking a look at one of our academies down the road, I'm not going to do any more until probably the beginning of 2024, probably in April or so. If you have interest in coming out to one of our meetings next year, we'll keep you updated on when the next date's going to be, locations, everything involved with that. And it's really a good chance to get updates on what's happening in the market, get some new sales ideas, get to meet some other very successful insurance agents will be attending our meeting. We have agents from all over the country attend. We usually bring in between 30 and 40 to these meetings. And it's really a good way to refresh yourself, kind of what's going on with that annuity space these days, what you can utilize in the market to expand your business. We do a couple of roundtable meetings at these get-togethers, questions and answer, sessions where you can really dig down deep and get some good information on what these guys are using in the field to get in front of more people and to close more sales. So that is the bottom line at this point. About another 10 seconds on this poll. We'll go ahead and get this closed up. We'll get moving along here. Get to the meat of our webinar here in another minute or two. Get things moving here. But we'll go ahead and get that closed up. And we'll go ahead and keep things moving here in the right direction. We continue to offer our 18-month trips, 18-month qualification. And the qualification runs here through the end of 2023. It started in July of 2022. It's 4.5 million points to qualify. It's going to be to the Seaside Sanctuary in Kiawah Island, South Carolina. I know with the Ryder Cup coming up this weekend in Rome, they actually held the Ryder Cup in Kiawah Island here back in the early 90s, and really built up that Ryder Cup, and it was a big event until then, and it really took off based on that battle they had on the seashore down there in South Carolina. So should be a very nice location, and we are going to be announcing another trip here shortly for next year, and that qualification will run through 2024 into the middle of 2025, and should be a very another nice location there. So do keep your eyes open for that. We do have presence on Facebook and LinkedIn via the social networks, and good chance to get on board there and take a look at what we have to offer. We do some special advertising on some of these social media sites, and some really good stuff that we'll advertise, over the next few weeks based on that. As I mentioned earlier, we glad that we could get Leon with us this morning. Leon is our representative there at EquiTrust. Been doing a great job with us. He's had a good experience, good past experience in the insurance side of the business, and he's going to bring a lot of positive tools to the EquiTrust company, and he's got some great stuff to cover here this morning. Again, Leon is our VP, regional sales VP of here in Midwest. So good to have you on board here, Leon. Hope you're enjoying your early fall here. It seems like more like summer with these temperatures we're having.
Yeah, hey, thanks, and appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's funny. I was just looking at the forecast, and I'm as I think most of us are that live in the Midwest, or fall. My favorite season is fall, right? And it's keep seeing these mid 80s and humid temperatures. I'm ready for some mid 60s. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but it could be 65 year round, and I'd feel pretty good. But yeah, hey, Matt, thanks for the intro, and excited to be here as always. Really appreciate the partnership. It's been a long standing and strong partnership with Limes and EquiTrust. And I touched on a couple of things you said. What a great time to be in this space. Awesome time to be here at EquiTrust, and our partnership is one that we really covet and really want to be a resource to you and your folks. So today we got some exciting stuff to cover. One plug for something that Matt brought up was the Agent Academy. I got the opportunity to attend a day of an Agent Academy, and he's 100% spot on. Heck, I left with several things that I could use. I learned things that were going on that were in the industry, some sales ideas. So I second that and give my endorsement to those events. They're first class, and if you get a chance to attend one, definitely take advantage of that. So, okay, I'll go ahead and jump in. Like I said, exciting time to be at EquiTrust. I've got a couple of really nice opportunities that we've rolled out here recently. And then we're also going to cover what I think pairs nicely with some of the products we're going to talk about. And that's our stretch and inherited IRA program, kind of an update on what that is, and then how we, handle those from a unique perspective, first and foremost, just accepting them, and then what that looks like. So, I'm going to jump in and just in the appreciation of our time allotment here, and get into the first of two specials that we're running. The first is our premium bonus boost. This just got rolled out on the 19th, and I'm going to keep this one pretty simple, at least this slide. I'm not going to spend a ton of time in here. I'm going to keep it simple. We essentially boosted all of our bonus products 2%. And then, Matt, I always get paranoid. I want to confirm you can see my slides, right?
Yep, you're up and running here. Looks really good.
All right, thanks, man. I've gotten it 4 or 5 slides in before, as we all have probably done, and they're like, "Hey, you got to share your screen." So, very simple here. Our Market Power product, or Market Power bonus product, goes from 10 to 12% first year. I'll get into some details on each of these. Our Market Force, our rate buy-up, goes from from 8 to 10, in California 7 to 9, and then our flexible premium bonus product goes from 6 to 8 for the first 5 years. So I think some unique places each of these can fit. We'll talk about those when we get into them individually. So just some high level of each of those products. Our Market Power is a 14-year contract, single premium, minimum 10K to get in, whether it's non-qualified or qualified. Again, that goes from 10 to 12, so that's awesome. No vesting schedule. And for those of you that are for-profit organizations yourself, right, as business owners, we do like to see a nice street level commission there of 8%. Our market force, as I said, goes from 8 to 10%. That's a 10-year chassis, single premium, 10 grand entry point there, unqualified or non. Really an accumulation focused rate buy-up option, 7% street commission. And then our market 10 is our flexible premium index, fixed index annuity, and that's a 10-year contract. Also a little different entry point there, 10 grand on non-qualified, 5 on the qualified side. I'll talk about this a little more, but really nice piece to this or option is the no cost return of premium rider. I think we're always looking for reasons to talk to people on, hey, and you might have somebody out there that just has not wanted to dip their toe in the annuity space. They don't like the perception of locking their money up, and maybe a perception of lack of flexibility, even though that's changed over the years. And boy, we've got the return of premium option on that, which is a nice way to overcome that objection. 6% street commission on that. Overall, just generally, what are some of the aspects of our fixed index annuities, key product features that we like to make sure we call out? We really try to keep it simple, and that's one of EquiTrust's kind of mottos. We want to make it easy for you to understand, you to sell, and the client to buy, right? So one moving part per strategy. I really look at that more like, hey, we present a concept with a product and say, hey, here's where you could utilize this, when you're customer facing, client facing, full accumulation value, death benefit, 10% free withdrawals after the first year, both in nursing home and terminal illness riders included. The ability to reallocate at the anniversary, right? Remain flexible, continue to have that excuse to have a conversation with your client every year. We want to create as many of those as we possibly can. I'd mentioned the return of premium on the market 10. One thing I always like to call out there, because I think it's important, and two, because just so full disclosure on that return of premium, if they activate that inside of the first 2 years, that does come with a chargeback, right? So jokingly, a lot of our partners, agents, and advisors will say that's really a return of premium after day 1, year 3. So, but just to be full disclosure there, that's how that works. And then several high quality stock and multi-asset index options. We'll talk a little bit about those as well. You always want to have as many of those as you can that are market relevant at any given time. So we'll get into each of these a little bit individually. I'm going to high step through some of them that I've already told you, hey, Market Power, single premium, 14-year product. That's actually there's a caveat to that. If you look down here where we've got the kind of the footnote, these states, that's actually a 10-year product. The commission level is a little different. So just be aware of that. That's in the product or the agent guide. So I encourage you to make sure that you're on our agent gateway and utilizing those tools. Again, 12% premium bonus. This slide is actually incorrect, and I'll tell you where. Issue age is 0 to 75. If you utilize the income benefit rider, it's 40 to 75. We talked about the commission. This is where it's incorrect, and we're actually getting this updated. On the bonus, it applies to the accumulation value and the income rider benefit base. So this is actually incorrect. So it would be 12% on both of those on that first year premium. So that's a key factor. So it's kind of that have your cake and eat it too, and that bonus kind of double dipping, which is really nice. The annual fee, as you can see, 1.25. Income withdrawal percentages. I don't need to read these to you guys. You can see them. One of the key things, though, to understand is that the withdrawal percentages do increase by 50 bips in 5-year increments. So nice little piece there. I'll talk a little bit more just in general about our income benefit rider, strategies here. after we get through this product specific portion. Something needs to be maybe appropriate for. Remember I said we like to pair these with, sales ideas, strategies. This product works really well with the inherited IRA, from a solutions perspective, utilizing, some of those bonus dollars, when we're trying to offset tax and, things like that as we're converting those. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Nice accumulation product over a long duration. And it's a means to offset previous investment loss, right, through the premium bonus. So we'll get into the rates on these, but right now the 12% bonus plus if you went with the fixed account, which is a 4%, 16% yield in the first year. If you've had somebody mention, hey, a lot of downs, less ups lately, that's a pretty attractive conversation to have with somebody. Hey, Mr. Client, we can recoup 16%, right, of that loss, based on what your initial premium is. So fits nice there. It's just a great conversation to have. And then, obviously some of the other options that are available in that product. Here are the rates. They'll remain consistent here as we go through these bonus products for the most part. 4% on the fixed. We've got 8% point to point. We've got our, several strategies here. Most of the money we see right now is going into the fixed and the point to point cap. But it is nice to have these, right? If you get into these longer contracts and need some flexibility as the market changes, we've got some low volatility indices with the Focus 50 and the MarketFive. So, you've got clients with different appetites for risk, and these are good to have from an options perspective. Our Market 10, again, I talked about this, our flexible premium 10-year product. So normally 6% for 5 years. This is now 8% for 5 years. I think that's a really powerful, so the special runs to the end of the year, right? But, conceivably someone could be getting an additional bonus boost on this product for 5 years. I think that's a really nice conversation to have. The return of premium, again, like I said, this is a trust me product, but, and we'll talk about rate integrity, but this I think really applies to that person that, a couple of things, right? They have, they've got some preconceived, notions of annuities. They've been hard to get their head around. Although this is easier in today's market than probably ever before. But you get those folks who are just anti-annuity. They don't like to lock their money up. There's no flexibility. Well, Mr. Customer, at no fee, we will, we have the return of premium kind of parachute, for you if needed. And it's also nice to, I look at this and sell it. Sometimes customers are worried, but if I put a big chunk of my funds into this product, and what happens, things go bump in the night, as I like to say. Something happens where I need access to capital. Can I go get my money back? And they kind of, break glass in case of emergency type of thought process. And I think this can also help overcome that objection. You see the issue age is very similar, 0 to 80, 40 to 80 if they use the income benefit rider. Same thing here. That's actually 8% to the benefit base, not 6%. So just to be clear, the bonus applies to both. And then, appropriate for individuals. A couple of areas here where I think, this is an option. We've talked about the premium rider, but you've got, it's a kind of a means to consolidate, financial resources over. This is a CD buyer. Someone maybe that's got several CDs coming, maturing over the next 4, 5, 6 years. You have them, and this is a nice strategy to, get those dollars into this product and take advantage of, the bonus, on that over several years. The other place I think, I'd focus, and you guys all have those, successful folks in your book of business and in your practice that are those, high earners, or they're getting a bonus every year, whether it's a C-suite person or a highly successful salesperson. They're getting again that annual bonus, and you can help them, find a place to put that, and then be able to get some bonus dollars every year. So just a nice strategy, good conversation to have with those folks as you're looking to position that conversation. So just a couple of areas where I'd be focusing, and just as your clients, positioning those annual reviews or conversations. Rates, this slide's going to look very familiar. 4% fixed, 8%, same conversation we had before. Lots of options and strategies to employ if and when you need them down the road. Most of the money going into the fixed and the point to point. So options. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about the income benefit rider. I talked about these individual with the products. But moreover, I want you to hear something, and I can't give away anything, and I don't know anything specific at this point. I know that typically we're not on the top quartile from a income perspective. We recognize that. We know there's an opportunity there. Don't be surprised if you see something exciting, come out from EquiTrust here, over the next several months. Again, I'm not going to act like the folks around the big table are calling me and let me know exactly what that means. I just know that we're looking to improve our competitiveness in that space. So hopefully down the road, that'll be a place you can look to EquiTrust, along with all of our other, I think, really strong products and what I like to say, the things that we have that solve problems and be a true solution to your clients. We're going to get better there. We've talked about some of these bullets already, within each individual contract. Market force bonus, this is our rate buy-up product. So single premium, 10-year design, 10% on that bonus. Issue age 0 to 80, nice street level commission. Rate buy-up, on the indexed accounts, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. That will be a little different than the previous two products, but you can buy up, for a point and a half, and you'll see what that looks like from a buy-up perspective. So you can see there's several, so there's some no fee options, right? You still got the 4% fixed, 8% point to point. Then you can get into, the 4 buy-up strategies on the point to point cap, point to point par. Then we've got our Focus 50 and MarkFive strategies, which are really nice. You can get into, some additional buy-up. You can take that point to point cap from 8 to 11%. That's really strong. And, we've seen that be more popular, in less competitive or less attractive interest rate environments, but heck, the ability to get into that double-digit opportunity from a point-to-point cap perspective to a lot of folks is worth it. That's kind of a swing for the fences approach, to an annuity strategy. So that absolutely is something that I would be talking about with my clients, and those folks that are like, hey, how can I get as much opportunity, right, as possible, because I know I have the downside risk protection. So, competitive advantages here, right? Simple design, the 4 buy-ups with 2 no fee accounts, pretty simple, right? Again, you'll hear me say that, you'll hear EquiTrust folks say that, trying to keep it simple, because simple is easy for you to understand, easy for you to sell, and easy for your clients to buy. Several different strategies, we obviously the S&P 500, illustrated rates they're among some of the highest for this type of product. So it looks really good when you show it to a client. I talk a lot about our renewal rate integrity. We're not perfect, no company is, but I think the ability or the willingness to show you, hey, you're going to trust us. This is a trust me product. A lot of the products we sell are. Here's what we've looked like over the history of this product or any product, and I think that tells a nice story of transparency with your client, and I think then instills trust with those folks to do business with you, and then in turn with us. The annual fees will not increase for the life of the contract. That is guaranteed. Full agent commission up to age 80. That's awesome. And then on the market force bonus, right? The premium bonus is fully vested day 1. So no vesting schedule, full premium bonus up to age 80. And then in a declining or zero growth environment, the 10% premium bonus can offset the annual fee, right, for the 5 years. So you want to buy it up, and you're saying, hey, we're not getting a ton of growth, but we've got that 1.5 points we're spending. That bonus program pays for that for quite a period of time. So it's kind of an offset strategy again as you're having strategic conversations with your clients. Some web-based resources. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I know we've got a window here of time, but our agent gateway, it's as good a tool as I've seen. It's agent facing, has things that are and there are renewal rates are in there. That's something you can access through that, and any kind of a tool or resource you may need to work with your clients. Obviously our e-app, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, and our illustration software, all those web-based resources are high quality and at your disposal. Company strength, from where we're at today, I don't think EquiTrust has ever been in a better position. This is important to me as a person that partnered, from a career perspective, fairly recently with EquiTrust. How do we look? What's, how strong are we? And this comes up quite a bit, but you can see we're in a really strong position. And that's being reflected in some of the things we're talking about today. Our ability financially to do some of these things from a bonus program or promotional perspective, and to still have some dry powder to do some other things, as we move forward is, I think, a good story to tell. You can use the EquiTrust Agent app, great resource. Most of us use our phones. There's many computers these days. I'd encourage you to use this. This can get you a lot of answers and put a lot of resources at the touch of a button with your phone. So if you're like me, that thing never gets more than a couple feet away from you in a day. So make sure you're utilizing that resource. Our e-app, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. I'm just going to say this as a piggyback to what Matt had talked about earlier, with e-apps and how they go through the system. So look, guys, this is where the world's going. I know some carriers have gone, depending on products, it's e-app only. And I know if we've been in this business for a long time, we get set in our ways. I'm no different. Guys, change is hard, but look, this is the way the world is shifting, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One of those is, Matt mentioned, hey, it won't let you complete an app or submit an app that's not complete. I've often said, hey, and maybe it's an insulting statement, right? It's idiot proof. My wife calls it Leon proof, right? Anytime I have to write something or hand fill out an application, it's not going to be perfect. And I'm doing the data entry and there's no, catch all for my mistakes. It's going to be wrong. It just is, and that's the case with filling out an application. So the e-app process is huge from that perspective, from accuracy. Guys, Matt said it. These are our applications that come in through e-app, that come in good order. They go through faster. They're at the front end of our processing times. We get stuff with NIGO. It gets popped to the back of the queue until those things are satisfied. And our new business folks are working these clean apps first. And it's just what it is. It's just, the nature of the beast, right? We're going to get these good order pieces of business out faster, and reward the folks who are utilizing it to do that. Okay. So what are we doing? What are we doing to help nudge you in that direction? We've got a really nice e-app promotion going right now that, by the way, is working. And I'll tell you what I mean by that here in a second. $500 per case, up to 5 cases, no minimum case size, and it includes all of our products except Bridge, and that's because Bridge currently can only be submitted through e-app, so that we were already there with our Bridge product. A couple of things, so you can see the date started September 12th through the end of the year, and it's available for all instances of Firelight. So as our marketing organizations use Firelight, they have their own instance of that. That's fine. It works through our system. And it still is efficient for us, so we'll accept that. Couple of key things. You have same client, 2 different products, you get 2 bonuses. Same client, same product. For whatever reason, we're splitting apps, that we only get paid once on that. So the key differentiator is different products. Source of money doesn't matter as long as it's 2 different products. So keep that in mind. So we've had some folks take advantage of that, and that's awesome. So get up to an extra $2,500. For writing business you're going to write anyway. And Matt said it. Once you do it once, guys, it might be a little clunky. You might need to call into our sales desk and have one of our great people there walk you through the first one. But after you do it the first time, you'll get it. It'll be an aha moment. This is how I should be doing things, and you're off and running. So you're gonna make a little extra cash, make your business a little bit more efficient, and who doesn't want to do that? So I encourage you to take advantage of that. Now we've gone from a little less than 50% of our applications coming in on average through e-app to almost 60%. Last week. So folks are taking advantages of this, and I'd like to see you guys do that as well. All right, so let's jump into the inherited and stressed IRA piece. Matt wanted me to cover this. This fits really well with a lot of the products that we just talked about, specifically where we've got the bonus opportunity and we're talking about offsetting some taxes. So first and foremost, will EquiTrust accept new business for beneficiaries of IRA money? Yes, we will, or I guess we wouldn't be talking about this. It's a unique differentiator for us. A lot of carriers don't get into this space. We will. We want to help our agents, advisors, and obviously their clients, with some solutions here. We've got some great products to do that. So we accept both stretch and inherited IRAs for new sales. What's the difference between a stretch and inherited IRA? It's a good question. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover accepting both and what those are, background and new rules, what changed due to the Secure Act, what products are available for each, because there is a little bit of a difference, the application process. Okay, so background. So an inherited or stretch IRA is an estate planning strategy for the beneficiary to take advantage of the tax-deferred status of the IRA. The beneficiary is required to take distributions from the IRA either through required minimum distributions or at the end of a 10-year period of time. The terms stretch and inherited, those are really terms that we use here at EquiTrust. So it's not necessarily associated with the IRS tax code. So the difference is that eligible beneficiary stretch and ineligible, we'll talk about what those are. Pretty simple. Two categories. The eligible designated beneficiary or stretch is a spouse of a deceased IRA owner, disabled person, chronically ill person, or an individual not more than 10 years younger than the deceased owner. And the second category is easy. It's everybody else, right? Anybody who does not fit into one of those categories, that would be an inherited IRA. And is the way we differentiate those internally. What changed to the stretch IRA concept because of the passing of the Secure Act? Prior to the Secure Act, which was January 1st, 2020, if the owner of an IRA passed, a stretch IRA was an option that was available for the IRA's beneficiary. In most cases, that would have been, a non-spouse, because if with the spouse, they would have just used a spousal IRA. So you're talking typically son, daughter, right, that they're passing that on to. Beneficiary is required to take, as I had mentioned, distributions from that IRA at the rate based on the beneficiary's single life expectancy. So that is a calculation. What changed? So after the Secure Act, if an IRA owner passed on or before January 1st, 2020, eligible beneficiaries can stretch the IRA, no changes with the Secure Act, okay? Ineligible, right, or all others, beneficiaries are required to withdraw all funds in the IRA or, become taxable within 10 years from the date of death of the original contract owner. And we've got some resources as we're going through these. A lot of times people are like taking screenshots. We've got some really nice tools on our agent gateway. Matt, I've sent a couple to you. I'm not sure if you saw those. If you want to add to the distribution list, you can. So folks aren't thinking they have to remember all this, but
Sure.
most of you are probably familiar with this, to some degree. If the original IRA owner passed before January 1st, 2020, the original beneficiary can maintain the stretch status that they had already established. So that key date is January 1st of 2020. What products are available? Pretty simple here. So eligible beneficiaries are the stretch. All deferred EquiTrust products can be sold. Income riders are available on index products, and the proceeds are stretched over the beneficiary's lifetime, and the RMDs are required using the pre-Secure Act rules and tables. If a person does not meet the requirements of an eligible beneficiary, they're treated as an ineligible beneficiary, and their contract with EquiTrust will be issued as an inherited IRA. We've already talked about that. Okay, in that case, what's available? What's the difference? Okay, the only difference is all of our products are available except for the market power bonus and our confidence income single premium product. Income riders are available as well, and the contract must be distributed or taxed by 12/31 of the 10th year after the original IRA owner's death. The client, they can pay the taxes on the EquiTrust contract by converting to non-qualified contract at the required time. I'll give you some examples of that here. So here's a little case study. If you're like me, you like visuals, you like, they show me the numbers in a simple format. We've got Vivian, she's age 50. She's the beneficiary of her father's $100,000 traditional IRA. She knows she's got 10 years to satisfy the taxable obligation there. So Vivian has several options to solve that 10-year requirement. One, she can pay those taxes up front and then utilize a deferred annuity. She can utilize a deferred annuity, grow it for 10 years, then pay the taxes in the 10th year. Or she can utilize a deferred annuity, take penalty-free withdrawals in years 2 through 10. I'll show you that a little more specifically here in a couple of slides. I'm just going to click through these. I'm not going to reveal each one as we go and just kind of talk through hot big picture strategy-wise. So here's what option one looks like. Remember, she paid the taxes up front. Okay, and then at the end, what's that look like after tax value after that 10th year? We started with 100 grand. We're assuming a 24% tax bracket and a 3% annual return. Not quite back to that original account value, but pretty darn close. Option two, utilizing a deferred annuity, letting that thing grow, and then paying the taxes after the fact. So you can see that the taxes paid pre-tax account value in the 10th year, 102 grand left at the end. So in a little better place overall. And then the option that we talk quite a bit about is utilizing the penalty-free withdrawals, what that looks like. So I'll show you this individually. They paid 29,000 and change of total, right? The pre-tax after 10 years is 52 grand after tax. That's because they had taken several years 2 through 10, taking those penalty-free withdrawals. Here's what that looks like, right? So they're taking their penalty-free withdrawals and paying the tax as they go, right? At the end, they have taken this almost $70,000 out, satisfied almost $17,000 of the taxes. So the taxes on the withdrawals here, so there's still some account value at the end of that 10-year period of time. They pay the taxes on that for a total taxation of $29,000 and some change. So that's what that would look like if they utilized that strategy. So a lot of options here to use with those. And remember, or if you're pairing this, depending on if they're eligible or it's a stretch or inherited, today, right until the end of the year, they're getting some nice, bonus dollars to offset some of these, taxable obligations. So some important things to remember, right? The revised or inherited IRA or stretch IRA information form lists eligibility criteria. So all of these things are on our agent portal, agent gateway. The election for the inherited IRA or stretch IRA is based on the date of death. Okay, very simple in their eligibility criteria. Two things: when did the original IRA owner pass? And where does the beneficiary fit? From whether it's stretch or inherited. Okay, the owner determines the eligibility by choosing the appropriate selection on the inherited or stretch IRA information form. Double stretch, okay, so this can get a little confusing, but it really isn't if you think about it just in logical terms. A double stretch occurs when an IRA has been stretched and then the beneficiary dies and it's stretched again one or more times. So what does that look like? So prior to the Secure Act, the original IRA or first beneficiary died, right? The account included the decedent's name and the first deceased beneficiary. All distributions are reported. Death claim distributions, RMDs are required and based on the life expectancy of the first beneficiary and continued until the IRA was depleted. After the Secure Act, the original IRA owner dies prior to 1/1. The first beneficiary dies after 1/1 of 2020. So what does that look like? Then the RMDs are required based on the life expectancy of the first beneficiary and continue until their death. An important note here is that the first beneficiary, once that first beneficiary dies, the contract cannot be stretched again. This now becomes an inherited IRA in which RMDs are not required and all funds must be distributed within the first 10 years. So, hey, how do we get started, right? And I'll high step through this a little bit. I would encourage you, if this is the first time you've gone through this, obviously get with Matt and we can, do a joint call. We have our internals, we have our sales desk, folks that are very versed in this strategy and can help you with it. So the owner entitlement, right? The beneficiary or deceased right? Annuitant in the actual beneficiary, whether they're eligible or ineligible. So we want to make sure we have that listed accurately. Again, walks us through on the form that I talked about earlier. It's based on the date of death of the original IRA owner. Very simple. And then once we decide that, once we have date of death, we know, hey, where does this fit, whether stretch or inherited. I mentioned a couple of tools and resources. Again, Matt, I sent you a couple of these. Feel free to distribute as you see appropriate. These are on our agent gateway. A lot of information here. It's not that complicated once you understand. It's all based on death of the original IRA owner, and then are we talking stretch? Are we talking inherited? And then, hey, what products are most appropriate strategically, and how do we want to help get this money converted in the appropriate amount of time, and obviously leverage a product that can help offset some of that taxable obligation. So just a few key things, right? I just touched on these. Determine that it's all determined based on the death of that original IRA owner, whether it's pre-Secure Act or post-Secure Act. And I've touched on most of these. EquiTrust accepts new sales for either type of beneficiary. So we'll take either and work with you on that. And then the inheritor stretch IRA information form details all requirements for eligibility. And so again, it's just saying, hey, we list this out really clear and easy to follow. The one thing that we get a question out a lot here is, will we take a beneficiary that is not at the age of majority, so someone under the age of 18, and we will not. So that is the one area where we will not accept the inheritor or stretched IRA. So just a keynote. I'm not sure if everybody has run across that, but just in case. So with that, hey, I know we've pushed up to the time limit here. I talked about where we're at from a financial strength perspective. EquiTrust is recognized, as awards top 50 life and health company. So very, very prestigious award to get. And you can see a lot of the things that, come with that, right? It's a good company, a strong company, one that's got a bright future. So something that we like to, and we're proud of, something we like to call out. Always use agents.equitrust.com for your agent gateway. That's where the majority of the things we cover today are there, right? Our app builder, renewal rate history, growth charts, sales tools, and you name it. Login required, but that gives you access to our illustration system, income calculators, you name it, it's on there, and can help you, look, professional, prepared, and ready to go in front of a client. And then, as always, I always plug our sales support desk, 866-598-3694. You can see the email. They are there to help you, in any way that you need. And sometimes we joke they're anywhere from IT to obviously running illustrations and positioning sales. So they do it all, and they're a huge help to us. So with that, I've got to the end of my presentation. Matt, anything that we missed or need to circle back on that you saw?
Nothing major. Just a couple things to verify. So, a guy asked, is that market force, and that's full commission through age 80 at 7%. That's a pretty nice number. They're up to age 80.
Yes, that's correct.
Good.
That is correct. Yep. Yeah, no, good question.
What's your top two sellers right now? The guy asked that. What's your two most popular products?
Well, yeah, our MIGA is probably no surprise, and if you guys are aware, we came out with a 10-year product. I know a lot of folks have been selling the shorter contracts, but we've got a 10-year product at 6% now. That's not our number one right now, but our MIGA in general is. But selling a lot of that, and then our 5-year new 5-year FIA that we just came out with, our MarketFive, has been our, week by week, our top seller. From that perspective, it was our Market 7. But, we're really seeing sales come in a lot of, we don't have, a space where folks are just out on a product. It really is just, they're so strong across the board. It just really depends on the client, right? But yeah, MIGA and our 5-year product, which fits with a different concept, fits really well with Roth conversions. So that product is hot right now.
Well, good. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah,
and then
5% commission on that. That's a 5, easy to remember, right? 5-year chassis, 5% commission. So it's we again trying to keep it simple.
Exactly. I love that market force contract, especially when you're looking at an inherited contract that Client
Oh
can
yeah.
earn a 10% bonus right now on a 10-year surrender, and crank that into the fixed account. Your client's going to make over 14% guaranteed first year. I mean, that's a big number right now.
Oh yeah, and that's what you had mentioned it is the kicking this thing off, right? With hey, if we got some folks that have taken a hit here in the last a couple of years, and the how attractive it is to say, hey, we can get you 14 or even 16%, depending on the product you choose in year one. It's a nice conversation starter.
Yeah, and suitability wise, I mean, as long as the policy is over 3 years old, you guys will look at a lot of stuff. I mean, as long as it's doable on the sweater
That's right.
chart side.
Yep, that's right. It kind of comes down to that. It has to make sense for the client.
Right.
We're going to do the math. If they're in a contract's older than 3 years, and the math works out. We're pretty pretty open to taking it. Again, just the common sense approach, I think.
Sure, that sounds great. And then
Yeah.
what's the incentives real quick on the bridge side? I think someone just asked that. What do you got going on the bridge side right now? Additional
Yeah.
term?
Okay, great. Yeah, great question. So that's 8% street commission. We got a 1% bonus on that right now till the end of the year. So that's 9%. And we're also doing an app bonus where you can get an extra $1,000 for the first app, 1,500 for the second, and 2,500 for the third. When I go through that presentation, I always kind of feel like the guy on the TV, selling knives or whatever. And now I've got, if you call the next 30 seconds, we've got so much going on there. But what an awesome opportunity. You want to talk about a product that solves a problem that is real out there. And I've really been, using the line, nothing can destroy a retirement plan like an LTC event. You've heard that described as $1 million problem in retirement, and it's something that we all should be talking to, our partners and clients about for sure.
Sounds fantastic. Appreciate your time today, Leon, and appreciate everything else being on here this morning. Anything you want to finish up with today, sir?
No, just like I talked about earlier, really exciting time to be in our business in general, but EquiTrust is all in right now. Not just from a product perspective. I think that hopefully today illustrated that, but investment in from a company perspective to maintain high levels of service. So it's we're easy to do business with for you, for your clients, and as always, Matt, appreciate your partnership and just the opportunity to spend some time with folks in your organization, and obviously tell them about what we've got going on. We know that you've got a lot of options, and we like to think we're one of the best options out there, and appreciate that opportunity.
That sounds awesome. I actually had an agent drive up from Lincoln, Nebraska to do an e-app here to kind of go over how it works. He went back and did one, and he's going to earn $500 on that app.
That's awesome.
It's over a $200,000 application. So huge app,
Awesome.
nice additional bonus on it. And the only reason he did it was because EquiTrust was doing that $500 additional incentive to do a e-app, the first one he's ever done. So it definitely pays off.
Right, and it's real money, and and the cool thing, and I talked about this earlier, is that it's accomplishing what we wanted it to accomplish. Right, we were the fear when you run an e-app bonus is that you're just gonna reward the folks that were doing it anyway, right? And not incentivize the new folks to do it. And that is not. We've seen a really nice lift, the first week or so of that, and hope that continues. That's a great story. I appreciate you sharing that.
Hey, you're welcome. And otherwise, everyone have a great week this week. Stay cool out there. I know it's supposed to be in the 90s here in Omaha this next few days, and we're looking forward to some cooler conditions, as Leon said, here moving into the fall. So it's not going to be a good day to be sitting out the Nebraska-Michigan game on Saturday when it's 95 degrees. So I'll be in the air conditioning house watching it on TV.
Yeah, you and me both. Well, hey, thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
You got it. Everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye now.